Well, when disaster strikes, first responders and relief groups must be ready to jump into action. And today, dozens of volunteers who help out in times of trouble put their skills to the test. The American Red Cross of Greater Columbus staged a simulated chemical spill in Dublin today, with volunteers setting up an emergency shelter at a local church. Actors played the role of victims and displaced families who were evacuated from their homes in the area. Disaster drills like these are crucial to get volunteers ready when the time comes to step up and help out.
Red Cross, we respond to, here in Central Ohio, about 800 disasters a year. And the way we do it so quickly and so well is the fact that we practice all the time. When we're not responding to disasters, we're practicing for disasters. So whether it's a big, large-scale disaster like this we're simulating or the smaller single home fire, it's something we have to constantly practice so that we're ready.
Today's drill is part of the When the Time Comes program in partnership with more than a dozen corporate partners, businesses in the community who help provide, train, and mobilize those volunteers when disaster strikes.
The typhoon in the Philippines is a reminder that disaster can strike anytime and anywhere. Here in Central Ohio, the Red Cross is training to take on a different kind of disaster. NBC4's Liz Adiola shares how a unique group of relief workers is helping the Red Cross keep you safe.
It's a 3-day weekend, but these volunteers say there's no place they'd rather be. Here in Dublin, training for disaster.
We had a gentleman who had no power, who was on oxygen, and he was terrified.
It was a weather event most people say they'll never forget.
Huge windstorm, lots of down power lines, people without power.
And despite many roads being closed during 2012's derecho, Stephanie Spries somehow found herself in the center of it all.
We didn't know it was going to be quite as bad as it was, but we were ready.
Ready to assess the damage and let the Red Cross know who needed help the most. By day, Spries is a supervisor at Safe Flight Repair, but when there's a disaster, her job allows her to be there for the Red Cross.
We have 28 of our employees who are trained, ready when the time comes, volunteers.
Workers who transformed this church in Dublin into a safe haven during a chemical spill drill that challenged them to help the displaced and injured.
You know to expect the unexpected. We pretend, we do drills and things like that, but this stuff could really happen.
We responded to 800 disasters last year in Central Ohio.
But for many of these workers, it only takes one.
It hits you that the simplest of things, seeing a face that's friendly, being able to speak to somebody and just calm them down a little bit, let them know that someone's listening. That's really all that we did. But it made the biggest difference.
Liz Adiola, NBC4.
Switching gears now, dozens of Red Cross volunteers gathered today in Dublin for a disaster drill. That drill was designed to help the volunteers train for a potential large-scale shelter operation made necessary by a disaster. The Red Cross tells us today's event was part of a yearly drill they do with other local business partners.